My name is Mac McClung. I'm from Gate City, Virginia, and I'm committed to Georgetown University.
He has an alpha male type of mentality in the way he thinks and how he feels. And he just had like this moxie about him.
I feel like I have a fire burning. It's like a blessing and a curse. Like I can't stand to lose.
You could see glimpses of excellence in him. He can take the basketball, go between 3, 4, 5 guys and do some magnificent things with it. He's just dynamic.
I mean, Mac does some special things with the ball. I mean, he's hands down the most athletic person I've seen with my own eyes. This kid has real NBA level athleticism.
He could jump out the gym.
I would dare say that anybody that I know has worked harder at his skill than him. He competes at everything.
Mac has always thought of himself as just like, he thinks he's the best, he feels like he's the best, and he's actually one of the few kids who actually say that stuff. Like, he really doesn't mind playing up against anybody. That's not just his MO. Is like, if you're good, I want to be where you are. If you're better than me, I want to prove I'm better than you. Like, he just carries that attitude about him.
You know, it's not that I'm ranked a certain thing that gives me that chip. I was just born with it.
Mac heart is really bigger than his height. Everything that he embraced, he pretty much conquered. He'll challenge anybody.
We have confirmed Mac McClung is now the all-time career scoring leader in Virginia boys basketball history.
You know, the kid he's special.
Like, this kid has a chance to be special.
An average-sized kid she happens to be like probably one of the most athletic people in the world.
Gate City's history is like mostly a football town.
Football, of course. He was a football player, yeah.
But football, to me,
So,
you know, everybody talks about Max dunking and his ability to jump. His ability to make a cut and separate himself from a defensive back is even more impressive to me than some of the dunks that he does. So
what about
to me,
that? I kind of like the dunks, but
he was All-State. Had 17 receiving touchdowns.
7th grade, the basketball coach, who was his current coach now, said, "Hey, Mac, why don't you come out?"
I'd seen Mac going up and down the hallways. I'd watched him play some Little League football, but I'd never seen him play basketball. But I knew he was a good little athlete. And so I remember saying, "Hey, why don't you come out and, you know, try our Little League and see if you like it."
And he was real impressed that the high school coach would come to him and ask him to consider the sport. I mean, he didn't really play very much.
I just remember his mom coming the next day and saying, "Hey, Mac would like to play." And so I think that kind of started his love for the game.
And then he came to me just shortly after that and just said, "I want to be a great basketball player."
You know, as a freshman, I don't think he started his first game. I started some older kids, but game 2 he started. As a sophomore, he became more athletic. He grew a couple inches, started dunking the basketball. And by the end of his sophomore season, you know, we were throwing oops to him.
I think going into my sophomore year, I had no offers, none of that. That summer, I went and played with Team Loaded for the first time, and I got my first offer the second live period.
Man, of course, you scour the states that border Virginia trying to find talent. I mean, we had come across this kid named Zach Irvin from Gate City. So when I went to see him play, they made it to the state playoffs. But when you hear he comes from the middle of nowhere, Gate City, it's like it can't be 2 of them. But when I went there, it was Mac. Mac was pushing it, jumping all around, shooting it, and he just had like this moxie about him. Like, at the time, I had no clue who he was. He was driving it full court and he took off, put his hand up like he was ready to just try to dunk on everybody, but he took off and then he like did this little dipsy do, and I was like, oh shit, who's that? So after the game, I literally, and it was one of the weirdest moments, but like, I was just like so caught up in like, hold on, wait, we have Zach Irvin. All right, but who is this other guy? And I was like, who is that? He was like, oh, that's Mac. I said, who does he play for? So he introduced him to him. I was like, who you playing for? He said something about going up to DC Premier, DC Blue Devils, one of them DC teams. I said, hey man, Zach is gonna play with us, man. I think you should come on and work out with us, and I think it'd be a good fit for you. In my mind, I said, you'll never go to DC. I'm not letting this kid get out of here. And from there, it just took off, met his mom and dad, and from there, it took off. I was like, look, I got a kid here that you don't know, nobody knows nothing about, named Mac McClung from Gate City. Everybody's first question is, where's Gate City? Where's that at? I don't know either, but he's here in Richmond. He's hands down the best kid you don't know about.
You know, he just came in with so much tenacity and explosiveness. He was really talented and he was very tough. He had a lot of grit, he had a lot of passion. He had a lot of things that, you know, would take you to the next level.
The weird thing was, I've been doing this for like a year or two now, just like jumping and everything the way I have, but it was just like all of a sudden everything went crazy, like, you know, the Riff Raff timeline, all the mixtapes, the Bleacher Report, House of Highlights. But I don't know, I'm not arrogant, but I always believed that like one day, you know, I'm gonna accomplish, you know, being a big figure and being able to make it far in the basketball world.
We had 6'7" wings, 6'5" guard, 3 6'10" bigs, all of them athletic. But Mac has the baseline out of bounds lob play. Like not the 6'8" jumping bean, the 6'1" jumping bean.
So I was at the mid-major level until like a month ago. I got my first offer from Rutgers, and then it kind of been rolling with the high major interest from there. No, I'm gonna commit after this weekend.
You are?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, to be determined next week.
I got you.
The Mac McClung commitment. It's gonna be tough. Should I post that?
I wonder which one's the better option.
Rutgers and Georgetown were the first to offer. Gonzaga loved them, but Georgetown got it. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters.
The word that I got was Pat Ewing came to him and wanted him to be the point guard.
At first, you only had like small-time recruitment for the kid. Then he blows up and you got Patrick Ewing at his front door taking a picture with his family.
People are just different. Like, some people want to go to parties, hang out with their friends. I was just like, always with that guy with the chip on my shoulder, like, I want to be better than that guy. I want to get back in the gym tonight. I want to get back in the gym in the morning. Like, it was just personally for me, I didn't ever want to leave the gym.
He can be at home at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and if he hasn't shot well in a day or two, or if he maybe even thinks that something's wrong with his shot, that's when he goes to the gym.
10:30 at night, and he'll just go, I'm going to gym. He gets up and he's out.
I've gotten here before to work, and at 7 o'clock, he's here. He takes care of it himself, and you never really see him doing it. But when you're talking to him in 2 days, you learn that he was here and he shot 400 free throws before school. I don't mean, just a couple hours a week. I'm talking about a couple hours a day.
He's the kid that's looking for the opportunity. He's running into the opportunity head on, like, okay, this is what they said I needed. I'm looking for you. You know what I mean? He's really that kid.
I would dare say that anybody that I know has worked harder at his skill than him. He doesn't take many breaks.
Mac McClung, 6'2", and can windmill, 360, reverse dunk. He got hops, man. He got hops.
Is he the best player you've seen?
Yes. Around here.
Who would you compare him to?
Michael Jordan, MJ.
It was a big question before the year if I would stay at Gate City or, leave, but there's no way I could leave with this community and the love and support that they show for me and our team. So, it was no question for me. I wanted to stay.
He took his senior year by storm. Numbers never lie. It was like every 2 days it was 47, it was 50, it was 45. It kind of got to the point where 40 points was just like a breeze for this kid.
he looks like a mean kid. Like if you don't know Mac, when you first meet Mac, he walks around with that scowl on his face.
You know, you just have so much passion for the game, and as soon as someone like gives you an elbow, that's just like my personality, not to, just take it.
That's when he's at his best, is when people start talking to him.
Coming from, a tough area in South Norfolk, I can see who's soft and who's faking it. You can't really fake it around me and Mac. Mac is one of those guys that's never faking it. Toughness is just something that you're born with, and he has it. He had you just checking your iPhones or whatever phone that you own to kind of, see what he was going to do next.
Every time you think he can't do something like the top what he just did, it's like, oh shit, did you see that? We got like a group chat, hey, did you see that one? Did you see that one? And then he does another one, and then he does another one.
He could jump out the gym.
Be careful when you go baseline challenging Mac McClung. He'll rise to the occasion and dunk on you. And, that's just a problem that you don't want to have. Man, he's a killer, man. It's so many words I'm using right now, but the one word that I'll say, he's a killer. If you're in his way, man, he'll kill you, man. He'll try to take your heart out your chest. When the Iverson scoring title was in reach, man, he just attacked it.
Just kind of happened. It wasn't, anything like I got to beat Allen Iverson's record, but it was really cool to be mentioned with those names, and hopefully one day I can make a big name for myself.
Just got these 2 back-to-back games, senior night, so now we're getting ready. It's win or go home, so it's all business. What y'all think about that? Let's go. You can feel Zach in the ice bath. That'd be hilarious.
This year, I believe that Mac as a senior has, our guys follow him. Whatever he does, we follow. When your best players are your leaders, you got a chance to do something through those guys.
The main goal is to, get ready for a state championship. That would mean everything.
We just got to go out and get it. I think we're the best team in the state.
What do you think it'd be like to play at ECU, packed out seats?
That would be crazy. I don't know if that's a hard place to pack, so, that'd be awesome to do that, to be our final game there.
This your boy Jack, Prep Hoops Gang. Know that. We got a Mac show coming up.
I'm headed to VCU to watch another state title game, and Mac McClung game is sold out.
Let's get it going, Mac McClung.
Shout out Slam.
Shout out Slam.
confirmed Mac McClung is now the all-time career scoring leader in Virginia boys basketball history. He has the ball, he has the state championship.
Matt Hart is really bigger than his height.
Oh, it was Mac Ash. It was Mac Ash. Mac wasn't going to be denied. You couldn't deny Mac. Mac just needed the opportunity to be there, and he worked so hard for it. So when he got there, the last thing you was going to do was beat Mac McClung in the state championship game. That just wasn't going to happen.
That's a feeling I'll never forget. I felt like at the end we were so unbeatable because like we honestly, as cliche as we all were so invested in each other. We all loved each other and we knew it was for something way bigger than ourselves. And I think we'll be celebrating forever.
Man, okay. Iverson Classic People's Choice Award. And come on, Matt, you ain't got it. Ain't a whole bunch of this, man. Georgetown, let's go.
He wasn't considered a McDonald's kid, and Iverson personally invites the kid to his All-Star game.
It doesn't surprise me to see him handle these challenges because he's wanted this. Like they're sitting around just enjoying camp and enjoying situations. He's wanted these opportunities to be in these camps, to go against these kids who everybody said were better than him.
I think being a 3-star, is rankings to me are not like a big thing. Like I got to be a 5-star. I feel like that just puts another chip on my shoulder, and I'm the underdog once again.
He done some things against 5-star recruits that was 5-star recruits for a long time.
So now this is his opportunity while everybody else is just like winding down, having a good time. He's looking at it like, oh, yo, this is why I've been looking for you. I've been looking for you for the last 3 years. Here's why. You know what I mean?
I love going against those guys that are so-called big names and things like that. I live for it.
He's playing for something. And he's on his way to something real good.
I want to. Everybody says that they want to go to the NBA. I want to be. I want to be different. I want to be one of a kind.
If any doors open and it shows a little bit of crack of daylight, I think a guy like Mac McClung is going to kick that door in and control his own destiny.
Personally, I think he'll be in the NBA one day. And the reason I say that is because I've seen him set goals, and I've really never seen him not meet a goal that he set individually with himself, and some of them some pretty high goals. And so when he says he's going to play in the league, I wouldn't doubt him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at his resume. He's accomplished quite a bit for a high school kid.
Who's the best looking guy on Team Loaded? No, I'm playing next.
Clearly you wanted to answer that.
No, I didn't. Shout out to Cookout, man. Y'all are really MVP. Gate City, man. Shout out to Gate City.